Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Eric Johnson Jr. and for those who haven't seen this channel before, I try to do all things racing here. So if you like that kind of content, feel free to go down below and hit the subscribe button, because I try to produce as many different kinds of racing videos as I can, whether it be iRacing, at track stuff, in-car video, you name it, we're trying to do it here. So feel free to follow along on our little adventures. But speaking of adventures, this video is about to get pretty interesting, because it is part one of our short-lived adventure to the All Star Showdown in Irwindale. It was one heck of a story, that's for sure. Although it didn't really go our way, as you guys will see throughout these videos, it was quite the story. And man, I still had a blast though. While I wasn't driving, it was actually Austin Herzog, the newest ARCA driver for BMR, or Bill McAnally Racing, for anyone that doesn't know my stuff personally, really, or doesn't follow along closely. He is their newest driver for their West Series team, and I was going along for this event just to crew. But this was a really fun experience, because not only did I get the chance to crew on a late model of this caliber at an event like the SRL races, which is basically ran exactly like a NASCAR race, if not more strict. But I also got the chance to do the media on a lot of it, so you're going to see a lot of cool new things we've tried out in this video, or in this series that we've never tried out before on this channel, which is super cool. So anyways, let's get into this without a further ado. Start of our All Star Showdown at Irwindale, California. Unfortunately, we couldn't just load up the car and take off to the race. There was plenty to be done before we got going, so luckily, before I got up there, Travis Sharp had already gotten the majority of the work done on this car, and when I got there, it was just trying to finish the last little pieces of the puzzle. And we had quite the job to do for sure. Our wrap guy fell through, so we had to finish up the final wrap in the car by ourselves, which was fun because I've never wrapped a car before. I'm not sure if I did it right, but it was wrapped. We figured it out. So enjoy seeing us try to figure our way around this thing. Big shout out to Travis and Amanda for all their guidance on this one. They've luckily had some experience, so we weren't going into it completely blind. But me personally, yeah, about as blind as it gets. But I had fun with it. It's just like, you know, it's a big sticker. Just make sure there's no bubbles and you're good. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, Travis, he has done a really good job at running his late model team, much like the ARCA Menards series team that we've been working with. And the reason for that being, it's just much more efficient when you can have two teams operating the same way. When you're bouncing back and forth between the two, it just makes it a lot less confusing if they're ran on the same system, if that makes sense. We get there and no matter where we are or what series we're working with, we know exactly what to do first and what to do last, and everything in between. So it works out well, but because of this, there's a lot of preparation that goes into either series. And when it comes to the late model, you know, there's only 3 of us getting this ready, versus in the BMR and the ARCA team, there's a bit more than that, getting all the stuff ready. And so we had our work cut out for us. Being the shop is in Montana, oh man, it gets cold and cold quick up there. So we had the pleasure of trying to get the pit cart ready, tire cart ready, radio cart, shock radiator. I'm trying to think of anything else. All of our different packages we wanted into the pit cart, whatever. We had the pleasure of doing this in the cold, so we tried to get it all ready, but we're bouncing back and forth between the heater and trying to get things cleaned up, and I'll throw in some shots here, but we had a lot to get loaded, a lot to go through, and you guys will see that here. But I think it's just really impressive how well organized everything is. And when you actually get to the track and all this is laid out in its own organized manner, makes things so much more efficient. But getting it loaded and getting it ready definitely takes some effort.
Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright. All these empty faces, we don't care about them tonight. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, 'cause when we're doing our thing where the wheels won't stop turning. I know we're acting stupid, we're being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb, it's the only way we know how to do it. You make me feel so young. Oh, 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 oh,
From the Racing Dynamics shop to Irwindale, it's actually a really long distance. So ended up, I think it was what, 1,300 miles or 20 hours drive. Ended up towing it in their dually there with a 36-foot fifth wheel behind it. And so before we took off on this, we wanted to make sure everything was as sound as we could. And you know, you can only do so much to prevent something from happening, and I'll leave that there. But anyways, we tried to get a oil change done on ourselves. We did swaps, oil filter, fuel filter, all tire pressures, went through the trailer, make sure everything's working. But we did find there was a trailer light that wasn't working properly, so we had to go ahead and take care of that really quickly.
Alright, check it out. Fit of the day. Got some snow gear on. These thick gloves because it is cold. But anyways, let's get some air in these tires. Well, it's like 0 degrees out, but car's loaded, trailer's loaded. Ready to go. Time to go warm up.
Besides that, we started getting everything loaded up, but the night we were supposed to leave, a massive storm decided to just sweep through, and we were slammed by a blizzard. And we were kind of worried for a sec, I'm not gonna lie. When this blizzard started coming through, it was snowing sideways, and I don't mean it was just like snowing. It was snowing sideways, complete whiteout. We tried going into town to get the last little things that we needed, and just all around us was just white as could be. And so, although it was kind of freaky, it ended up kind of dying down by the next morning, and we were able to get out of there. But we had our struggles getting loaded up for sure. I think we loaded the car in -6 degrees of weather, but you know, we had our fun, we put on our layers, and we made do. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? Finally, the next morning came, and it was time to leave, so we all jumped in the truck, huddled up in our hoodies and blankets and whatever, and we got out of there. It was kind of rough, definitely, coming out of Montana. Just, you couldn't see the sides of the roads. I called it driving braille because you couldn't tell where you were on the lanes, and if there was nobody oncoming, you couldn't really tell how far right or left you were, so you were pretty much just feeling the shoulder with the trailer, which was not comfortable, but I mean, you made do, just went slow and got through it. But had my head down through that, once we cleared out of the snow, we made our way towards Salt Lake City, and that place, I've never been there before. I guess I've flown through it, but I've never actually driven through Salt Lake City, and I cannot believe the size of that area. We brought Amanda Sharp's father along, Randy, and Randy him and I were just going back and forth in awe of these places, because it was really blowing me away how many people were so concentrated in one area. I've never seen anything like it. But we made our way all the way down to Vegas for the night, and that was just so much fun. Like I mentioned, Randy was with us, and he hadn't been to Vegas in a while. And when I say a while, I mean years and years and years. So it was completely different from the last time he's seen it. So it was fun to see his reaction, along with who doesn't like being in Vegas for a night. It's just a cool place to hang out. So went there, enjoyed it, kind of celebrated that we made it out of the snow, and then we crashed for the night and got up the next morning. Next morning comes around, and we were, to our surprise, it still had, the trailer still had quite a bit of snow on it. I mean, over a foot. So we hit a trailer wash on our way out of Vegas to see if they could try to get as much of that snow off as possible. And for 45 minutes, we sat in this trailer wash. And it's not like your regular car wash. It is a full-size truck and trailer semi car wash. And you drive through, and they have sprayers all 4 sides around the vehicle spraying hot water. And we were in this thing for 45 minutes, and they could not melt the snow off. Eventually they knocked on the window, and they're like, "Sir, we're just gonna have you leave. It's been too long, we can't get it." So we said okay. We kept going down the road and made our way over to Irwindale, right outside of LA, that same day. And to our surprise, we made it all the way there with some snow on the trailer. I do not know how. I never in a million years would have thought we could have drove from Montana down to LA, where it was 70 degrees plus, and still have over 6 inches of snow sitting on top of our trailer. The snow didn't want to let go either. It took almost all weekend for this snow to melt off. By the time we left, it was still dripping off the sides of the trailer, but yeah, that stuff, we basically brought a glacier with us. That was our joke. Came from near Glacier Park, the area up in Montana, and brought some of the glacier with us down to LA. Once we arrived, it was fun to kind of meet up with the Herzogs again and catch up with them. We've seen them previously up at the shop at Travis's as they come up there to help finish up those cars when we first started them. But it was nice to catch up with them. So once we made our way through the gates, got signed in, did all the boring stuff, I guess you could say. We pulled into our stall, and I've never seen so many cars at a race event, for a short track event like this. So I was just blown away by how tight they put everyone in there. But I mean, you have to, right? But we finally got our spot and wedged our trailer into where it needed to be, got the car out, and got to work. Well, I hate to cut you guys off, but I'm gonna end this one here. This is part 1 of probably 2 of this little Irwindale short story trip deal, but I think this one's gonna be long enough here, so thought I'd just show you guys a little bit of the load process. Obviously, there's a lot more work going on in the background on these vehicles, so I thought I'd possibly make a video of just the shop work on that if that's something you guys want to see. So just let me know down in the comments. But I'm gonna end this part here so we have something special to see in part 2, but make sure to check that out when it comes out. I'm really looking forward to that. We have some cool stuff in the editing side that I'm excited to show you guys when we finally get some of those race shots in there, and I think you guys are gonna really like it. So stay tuned and make sure to keep an eye out for that part 2 coming out. But as far as part 1 goes, if you watched all the way through, thank you so much for watching. I know these videos can kind of be, you know, not the most entertaining thing, seeing us push stuff around and load, but I think it's cool to show you guys as much as the different kinds of stuff that you wouldn't see on the YouTube on this platform, because I think as a race fan back before I started, that was my favorite thing, was seeing the stuff you shouldn't normally see, and that's the at shop stuff, the travel stuff of the team. I just really want to show you guys all the different parts that goes into one of these events. So I hope you're enjoying it. Like I said, just let me know down below. Feel free to hit that like button. That helps me out a ton. And if you want to see more racing content like this, just hit that subscribe button, because as the year comes, there's going to be lots and lots of videos coming your way. So feel free to join the family, enjoy the videos, and yeah, we're going to have a fun year here. But I will leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, take it easy.